I'm on my fifth take, okay? I don't know if this one will see the light of day, but this is going to be rough. I'm just going to keep it very real with you guys, okay? But I'm going to just cut straight, and I'm trying to stay organized here. I have notes because you guys know your boy rambles. But what's up, guys? My name is Mahdi, your host of the Thoughtful Banter podcast. This is episode 81. This is the State of the Union address. This is the interlude episode, okay? Episodes moving forward won't just be me. I don't want that to be a thing, but I think you guys deserve an explanation. I want to share this with y'all just so we're just in the clear. It's worth addressing. We've taken so many breaks, and I've had like so many different people like say like, "Hey, you guys still doing the podcast?" I think most people have just like accepted that we're not doing the podcast. So I think all of you just deserve to know our audience has been amazing, and I just want to be transparent with you all. So it's just me. Sane and Asya are no longer part of the Thoughtful Banter business, no longer part of the podcast. There's no beef, there's no like malice, but it really just came down to like everyone growing and having different priorities. You guys saw like when Hussein moved, obviously uploads just slowed down and stopped. We're all just really busy. I'm sure you guys all know how it is to have your lives and have all your priorities. And I think it's just really hard for all of us to juggle, and like being in person with each other with the podcast was really easy. But being virtual with each other, it just wasn't working. It just wasn't working. And, Hussein was, we kept trying to schedule episodes. Things kept coming up, and like on everyone's end, right? Like I wouldn't be available. Hussein wouldn't be available. Hussein and I would both agree to an episode time. Both of us just wouldn't show up, like would be sleeping in, We couldn't always coordinate time with Asya, and then it was just a lot. And Hussein just came to a point, when he just honestly was like, he just told me like, hey, I really care about this podcast, but I just can't give it my all right now. And if you can make something work with this, then you should. And that's how I was feeling the same way as well, we were just trying to coordinate episodes and it just wasn't working out. And I was thinking to myself, like, listen, the pod isn't going to be the same without Hussein, but I'd rather try to make it into something than to it just kind of die out and be nothing. So I'm officially just by myself right now on this podcast, in this journey. I've taken time to think about what that means, what that's going to look like. And it was hard. So, Hussein and Asya deciding just to hand it over to me while they work on their ventures was difficult. And I just want to say to the audience, but especially to Hussein and Asya, I was talking to my wife and I was thinking to myself, I think working on the Thoughtful Banter podcast with Hussein and Asya for those couple years are some of my best moments in my life. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. And you guys don't know how much fun it was. Like, really. And sometimes it was really hard just like to get together, make an episode. Like, I've spent so many late nights editing an episode while I have work this next day, editing an episode and uploading it, being awake till 2 a.m. and then waking up in like 6 hours, 4 hours, and then driving to work. I had so much fun working the episode with you guys, and may God bless y'all. It's also like, shout out to Asya. Like, you guys don't see her a lot because she was mostly behind the scenes, but working with Asya, like she was super helpful. Like, behind the scenes, she would help so much with the conversation. She would add points, she would add feedback. Hussein and I would say something stupid and she'd be like, nah, like, cut that out, and we'd restart. Like working with Hussein, you guys know that's my brother, and man, like, I respect him. He's a great person to work with, and he really made Thoughtful Banter like it's not what it. Thoughtful Banter is not going to be what it was without Hussein and Asya, and it has to be different moving forward for this for this project to work. So when I finally got, when I finally did get Thoughtful Banter to myself, which I did want, because I was thinking, if we can't make it how it was, let me just have it myself. It really hit me, and I was like, okay, like, do I even want to continue? Like, I can't make an episode without Hussein. No one wants to hear me yap in front of a camera. And I was just feeling so much doubt. And I think at the end of the day, like, I was pretty close to just calling it quits. But I think what stopped me was just thinking, like, I do enjoy making this podcast, but the purpose of this isn't just for myself. It wasn't for that. It was the same for Hussein. Like, it wasn't just for him. We wanted to provide a service, a product to our Muslim Shia community in the West. And even now, still, like, I don't see the podcast that I want out there, which tells me the podcast that I want to see needs to exist. And there's no one else that can do it but me, because not because I'm special, but because it's an idea in my head. And I see the needs are still not met by the people. I think something needs to change and something needs to happen. I'm still seeing the exact same problems in our communities in the West. And I think this podcast needs to happen. How it is needs to change, but people need conversations that are real, that are authentic. They need thoughtful banter. So it has to happen. Like, it has to continue. And I think this is my obligation. So the question is, that being said, having thoughtful banter to myself, and then deciding to really move forward with it by myself. The plan is, the next question is, how do I move forward? Like, what does it look like to have thoughtful banter? Now that I have it by myself, now that I've decided to undertake this again and reinvent it, what has to change? What's different? I'll tell you. Moving forward, this is a rare occasion, but moving forward, every single episode I have, I want to always have a guest, because this thoughtful banter, it's not soap opera banter, okay? I want to have a guest. I want to be interviewing someone. I want to be talking to somebody else. And we're going to be making one episode a month. This is because I'm busier. I have a lot on my plate. I'm in school. I have a job. I'm doing side work. I'm very busy, and I want to make quality episodes. And I think the best way to do that, and I always need to schedule a guest, which is difficult. So I think the best way to go about this is just to upload once a month. I'm going to get rid of the Patreon. You guys have been the best, but I feel bad because we have not been doing what we've said we do with a Patreon. And I don't like the platform. I hate having Patreon. It's a bad platform. I don't think anyone really likes it. And I think we need to find a better way to have people support the podcast. I think moving forward in the future, it would be better. I feel more comfortable with just having like a link where people can give one-time donations. But I don't think having Patreon is worth it. I don't like it. It's a bad platform. I'm done with it. Okay. So we're gonna be removing the Patreon, and we're gonna be providing just like one-time donation links so people can just support whenever they want to. I don't want to rely on people forget it. Like, again, people don't use Patreon. No one logs in there. So I think really this model of Patreon most of the time is your fans sign up and they forget they're signed up. And I don't want that. So we're going to be setting up a one-time donation link, and you can donate as much as you want, but by no means am I expecting monthly stipends or, I don't like that. All right, now, number 3 on my list is I just want to quickly reiterate and share with you guys what the mission of this podcast is. Okay, we've talked about it before in many different words, but I have it written down here. This was in a conversation with my wife. Shout out to her. She helped me just map it out. And the mission of the podcast is Thoughtful Banter's mission is to create content that enriches the minds and the spirits of Shias in the West. Okay, that's really important to me. Again, that's why we have this podcast, and it's a lot of responsibility, but I'm really trying to take it seriously. And that's the mission. And ultimately, like it's kind of loose and broad for a reason. Like that can look like a lot of different things, but I think it encapsulates. I think it encapsulates the vibes we're going for. Okay, now all the thoughtful banter stuff out the way. We have to acknowledge what's happening right now in Minneapolis. It is absolutely disgusting what's happening right now in Minneapolis. Okay. I've seen ICE doing crazy stuff. I've seen like at least 2 people right now get shot point blank by ICE. There was a man that was killed today, January 24th. I believe it was today, January 24th. This man, he was a veteran, he was a nurse, and I've seen like at least 3 different videos, different angles of this guy. And ICE, they disarmed him. After disarming him, while being pinned down on the ground with multiple officers around, this ICE agent just unloaded 10 bullets into this guy's back. It's terrible. And the National Guard has been deployed. There's a storm coming in Maryland. I'm just praying, guys. I'm just praying. I'm praying for the people of Minneapolis. I'm praying for everyone's safety. I'm praying for justice. And I question right now, as a Muslim, what our responsibility is in these times. I think oftentimes, again, like we like to jump to what to do. But I think it's just worth considering, Oftentimes what to do changes so much with the situation we're in and what's at our disposal. But I know at the end of the day, the first thing that we're all supposed to be doing is trying to get closer to Allah. So I'm not perfect, but just, a reminder for all of us, a reminder for myself. Try to seek closeness to Allah during this time and trying to be useful. Like, we can be angry all we want, but at the end of the day, like, I know Allah, we've heard hadiths akin to like Allah loving the believer that's useful. So there's anything that you can be doing to help out the situation. And it doesn't need to be about Minneapolis. I think what we need to be doing is being extremely useful in our day-to-day lives, because from what I've seen from a lot of the people that I respect and look up to and our spiritual leaders, service is the key. These people are in service to their communities, to those around them. They're giving back. So, my recommendation, I guess my prompt for you guys is ask yourselves, what can you be doing to give back in this time of hardship and this time of chaos and this time of stress? And don't even get me started on Iran. Don't even get me started on Iran. I don't have the bandwidth for it right now. That is even more, honestly, like that's a whole different episode. And if I get started about Iran, I won't stop. But it really feels like right now what's happening globally with Iran, America, and Israel, and Sudan, and Minneapolis, and like here, it just feels like the world's imploding. And I think in many ways it is. It feels like the chickens are coming home to roost. It feels like a lot of the negative things happening right now in the world are all being caused by a few central key players, and all of the greed and corruption and evil in their hearts is spreading out everywhere, and it's having intense ripple effects. Like, if you can't see the parallels between ICE and the IDF, you're not paying attention. Like, that's simple, right? If you're not seeing the parallels between the American police force and IDF, it's happening. And Sudan, this is all connected. We think what's happening in Palestine, it's not just some faraway place. It's all connected. I'm looking forward to this next season of Thoughtful Banter. The old season is behind me, and the only way that this podcast is going to work is if it's reinvented. So You know, I can't just try to replicate the same thing. I gotta try to do something new. So I appreciate you guys. I'm thankful to whoever sticks around, and I'm thankful to everyone who's ever watched the podcast. And inshallah, with your guys' du'as, with your guys' prayers, your guys' feedback, your honest, your harsh criticism, which I desperately need. With all that being said, I think that I pray that this podcast can still be an act of service to someone somewhere. Assalamu alaikum. Take care, everyone.